watching the Bo Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you by these following fine sponsors: Buffalo Wild Wings, Miller's Funeral Home, Eagles Lodge 767, Rabel's Auto Service, Plus One Professionals, Oglaze Equipment Rental, Midway Trailers, American Legion Post 323, Albert Sporting Goods, Family Audiology, Speckman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Spees Chiropractic, Varsity Lanes, Minster Bank, VFW Post 9289, and Guarneri Pizzeria.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 edition of the Bo Frye Show. I'm your host, Joe Hurlburt, alongside Head Coach Bo Frye. And Coach, thanks again this year for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
You know, last year, let's wrap things up. Last year, Riders went 10-3, made it into the playoffs for the second round. How did you assess your first year as the head coach of the Rough Riders?
Well, it went really fast, would be the first thing. And I think we got mostly what we could get out of the kids. We had a very good senior group last year, intelligent, hardworking kids. And they played extremely hard. There's a few we'd like to have back early. We're still trying to find ourselves. But in the end, I thought it was a great year, a great first year for me, and a great way to continue the tradition here at St. Mary's.
Now let's move into this year, the 2022 football season. From last year's team, you return 11 starters and 20 seniors. So that's a good core to start with. It gives you a good baseline to start with.
Yeah, we returned quite a few kids that some kids that have been playing for 4 years, some kids that only been playing on special teams, some guys that are in new roles. We had to move around. But we do have a great nucleus of kids and 20 seniors that have worked extremely hard. They've come to work every day, and they're a very physical, tough group, so I really enjoy them.
Let's talk a little bit about this year's offensive players. Of course, you lose Gavin Reineke at quarterback. You lose Ross Henshin at running back, so you've lost some skilled people, but Cody Wallace has stepped up, and of course, last year he got injured in the scrimmage game against Piqua, started to see some reps later in the season, and has stepped in quite nicely here to start the season.
Yeah, if we look back, we played a lot of kids in the backfield last year. You remember that? It was like a mass exodus when they would come on and off the field. This year, we're not playing as many because our guys, they're grown up, they're older. The Aiden Hinkles, the Colton Mabrys, the Braden Sullivans, the Keegan Sharps, the Cody Wallaces. And Cody, like I said, Cody broke his collarbone against Findlay last year, but he went to practice every day all year last year, learned everything, took didn't take any reps because he had a broken collarbone, but first minute he got out of the sling, he was back at practice, played in the playoffs for us, and he's going to be a very good one. Good.
Now, going to the other side of the football, your defensive coordinator, Nick Yale, has got some people that he's moved in. We've lost Gisagi, who was the co-defensive lineman of the year last year in the Western Buckeye League, but you've got some people that are returning into key spots.
Yeah, they're still searching for their identity over there, but they're playing extremely hard, and Nick does an outstanding job. That guy is here before me, here after me. He puts a ton of effort into it. Probably our best coach on our staff. And he will constantly not leave any rock unturned, and will find a way to get those guys playing great defense.
Absolutely. That leads us into our next question. Let's talk a little bit about this year's coaching staff. You've got a great nucleus from last year. Any new faces as far as your personnel is concerned, as far as coaching?
Yeah, I'll just go through all the guys. It's good to get their names out there. Let's start on the offensive side. My brother, Kobe Frye, is our offensive coordinator. Kevin Jacobs coaches the tackles and tight ends. I coach the guard and centers. Seth Voorhees coaches our split ends and tight ends. He was a young guy, came back this year. He's got more of a role. And my dad, he coaches the backfield with my brother as well. And Derek Dunlap coaches our quarterbacks. That's our offensive side. Dave Brewer also helps with the young offense, the JVs and the freshman offense. He also helps with the JV and freshman defense as well.
Absolutely.
Defensively, same guys as last year. Nick Yale's still calling the defense. Shane Patterson is our defensive line coach. Tom Nouse is our linebacker coach. And we actually added 2 new faces that should sound very familiar to the program. Bo Kenning is our assistant defensive line coach, and he helps with our JV and freshman defense. And Julius Fisher is helping coach our secondary and helping with our JV and freshman secondary.
One of the things that I think is important is your staff that stays together for some longevity. How long has this staff or the majority of this staff been together?
So when we came back, when my dad came back in, I think it was 2015, 2014, my dad came back, it's the same people. Shane Patterson came on a year later. He was a head coach down in Southern Ohio. Didn't like it down there, was trying to get back in the area. So he was the only new face. But this staff, other than the young guys, we've been together since about 2015.
Wow, and that brings consistency to your program.
Yes, it makes me feel a lot more comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't have new faces coming in. You have to teach them the system and things of that nature. They already know it, and you just pick up from the year before.
Correct. That's definitely an advantage that we have here in St. Mary's.
Well, let's take a look at the Western Buckeye League overall. I know it's early in the season. Everybody's got one game under their belt. I think last week the Western Buckeye League went 4-6 overall, but from your perspective, how does the Western Buckeye League shape up overall?
I think, first off, what's glaring to me is there's some very, very good offenses in the WL this year. A lot of people returning, a lot of great skill guys, a lot of people returning, a lot of linemen, and a lot of great coaching. No coaches left in the league this year. So anytime they have a year in the offseason to build their program, you're seeing it reap benefits for them. And you're seeing it through Defiance, Coach Cooper's in his second year, and they're really following. They're playing hard. They're scrappy. You're seeing it from some of those teams that have struggled for the last couple of years. They're starting to get it figured out.
Well, from last week, as I mentioned, the Western Buckeye League teams went 4-6 in their non-league opener. The winners last week was Van Wert, Elida, Defiance, and of course the Rough Riders defeated London. Bath lost to New Bremen. Salina lost to Versailles. Kenton to Coldwater. OG lost to Eastwood, and Shawnee lost to LCC. That game was played on Thursday night, but the surprise to me was OG being shut out by Eastwood. Now, maybe that's not a surprise, but I've always thought of OG having a pretty potent offensive game plan.
Well, first off, Eastwood's very good, and second off, OG is replacing a ton of starters, but we'll get it figured out. Coach Schreiner at OG always gets it figured out, so. They'll be all right.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the Rough Riders' 42-31 win over London in their season opener at Grand Lake Health System Field last Friday. We'll do that and more as the Bo Frye Show continues right after this.
You're watching the Bo Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you by these following fine sponsors: Buffalo Wild Wings, Miller's Funeral Home, Eagles Lodge 767, Rabel's Auto Service, Plus One Professionals, Oglaze Equipment Rental, Midway Trailers, American Legion Post 323, Albert Sporting Goods, Family Audiology, Speckman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Spees Chiropractic, Varsity Lanes, Minster Bank, VFW Post 9289, and Gwinneri Pizzeria.
All righty, we welcome you back once again to the Bo Frye Show. Joe Hurlburt alongside head coach Bo Frye, and coach 42-31 winners in your season opener at home against the London Red Raiders. You have to be excited about the points that you put on the board, but maybe not so excited about the points you gave up on the board.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, we're still a work in progress, but a win's a win. We'll always take wins.
Absolutely.
That's the number one goal.
Well, your offense, as far as your leaders are concerned, got great games out of Aiden Hinkle, Colton Mabry, Keegan Sharp, all toted the ball for 80-plus yards or more. Aiden Hinkle had 2 scores, Keegan Sharp had 2 scores, and when we get to the highlights, you'll see some of those touchdowns. Cody Wallace, pretty solid at quarterback. You had to be pleased at him. He was 2 for 2 for 77 yards and 2 touchdowns. So your quarterback efficiency pretty good on that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always keep it that way.
And offensively, 19 first downs, 378 yards of total offense. And my colleague, I thank Drew Jacobs for sitting in for Zach Farrell. He did an excellent job, but he alluded during the game that one of the goals is 300 yards of offense as a goal. For
350 rushing, that's our goal.
350.
Yeah, so we didn't get our goal. So they get extra helmet stickers, and they actually get extra dog tags if we get 350 rushing. So they were 49 short.
Really?
Yeah.
But they ended up with 379 yards of total offense, 77 through the air, 301 on the ground. Penalties kind of shot you in the foot from time to time. You had 6 penalties for 50 yards, but nonetheless, overall, pretty good performance for game one.
Yeah, I think it's an offense that our backfield is extremely veteran, so they should be getting great yards every single week. They're the guys we're counting on. And it's an O-line that's been playing in the same position for a while. We kept Caleb Miller down to center, but a lot of those tackles have played. Right. The guards rotated in last year at times. Yeah. So it's a group that's very it's a veteran group.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from last Friday night's game. Of course, Colton Mabry, who started last year as a freshman, back for his sophomore season. Here he picks up 8 yards on a sweep.
Yeah, new number, same guy. A little thicker this year. Went to the weight room. Definitely, he's definitely a very good football player for us.
This next one is Cody Wallace. Picks up first down on a quarterback sneak. And again, I was impressed by your offensive line surgeon. And you got some huge people up front, and I'll mention them as we go ahead and look at the next clip. Xavier LeClaire, 6'2", 370 on the other side. Braden Saylor, 6'3", 305. Of course, you talked about Caleb Miller, your center, at 6'5", 260. Trent Wyckoff at guard, 165. He's the runt of the crew.
He's got a long neck though. He's real tall. He's dangly.
And of course, Greg Felver stuck out in my mind. He had a great ball game, I thought, at 6'1", 225, and then Eli Rickard at 6'1", 270 at tight end. There we saw a long run by Keegan Sharp.
Hey, Greg had a great night, but he's still the slowest guard I've ever had.
Really?
So, yeah.
And you tell him that?
I tell him that every day. Yeah, every day.
This is a nice run by Mabry. Good blocking up front.
See Greg behind right there?
He
stepped behind, man. He's giving great effort, but we need him to step faster every single day. So we're working that. That's the little things we're trying to work every day.
This is a run by Aiden Hinkle up the middle in the red zone.
This is a great run by Aiden. It wasn't blocked very well, and he just put his head down and got us, I think that was third down, got us to 1 yard.
And this is, he polishes up and finishes it up with a touchdown run, 1 yard run. It's pretty much untouched. Braden Sullivan last year saw some reps in the backfield, and again, is someone that I believe you're going to count on quite a bit here in 2022.
He's extremely reliable. Braden does things right, and consistently gets you positive yards. There's another sweep to Mabry. His little Fred Flintstone legs, you know.
Exactly.
But they move fast, man. They move fast, so it's great.
You mentioned the number change. The reason, do you know?
I'm not 100% sure what he changed. I think because we give freshmen whatever's left. And then last year he got 46, and I think his number, he's 30. He's always been 34. So
really?
I think that he usually you see between freshman and sophomore year they change their numbers. So. This was actually a screw up.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But I think Cody turned the wrong way, but he knows that if you turn the wrong way, follow your blockers and run the ball.
Exactly. So good job there. Good poise. Mm-hmm. This is another run by Aiden Hinkle. The Rough Riders ran a lot out of the full house backfield. Really nothing fancy.
We ran 5 plays the other night.
Just
5
plays. Just block at the point of attack and get behind your big fellas and let them do their job. Mm-hmm. Here's his first touchdown pass, and that was to Sullivan.
That was the second one. I think the other one got cut off film. Okay. So, but it was a very good throw. It was a great protection.
Yep. This is the same play, just from the end zone shot. You can see Sullivan coming off on the left of your part of your screen, just boom. Next thing you know, he blows by the secondary, and it looks like number 14 kind of
hobbled up a little bit
with a cramp.
Yeah, perfect time for a cramp, right? Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, the offense I thought was very physical, very physical.
Like I said, we have a physical group of kids that are listening to what we're coaching. And I think that you give it time, you'll see it from both sides.
Let's run this one again. We'll make that was a good stop here by LeClaire on this one.
LeClaire made the tackle. He's got to get out of the way. So he's still not on the right track. It's still he's a work in progress, but the kid gets off the ball.
Yeah,
he's big and he's physical, and if we'll keep that as long as he continues to get off the ball, he'll be a very good offensive lineman for us.
And here again, the Rough Riders down in the red zone. and Aiden Hinkle will take it in from about 7 yards out.
As it's getting late, they started to get a little tired,
Yeah.
and we just kept banging it at them. So.
This is a nice run by Keegan Sharp. He just follows his blockers and gets the corner and squares up. And
See, Greg's in front there.
There you go. There you go.
You know, that's what I got to have every single time. He's all right to the right. To the left, he's a step slow. So I got to get that fixed. But Sharp, he can fly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is the same play just from the end zone.
It's just great. All 11. I mean, to execute a wing T play, all 11 guys have to do their job.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks like crap, and sometimes it looks like that.
Right. Caleb Felver gets into the ball game, and
Yeah. I'll tell you it's about Caleb. He may be the toughest kid we have on the team.
Mm-hmm.
He's not very big, but you can sneak him in there at fullback, and there's a role for everybody in the game of football.
Yeah. And Kevin Perry also got in the ball game. Now, Kevin played a lot on defense, gets a chance to tote the football here on offense, and picks up some pretty good yardage.
Kevin's a very good running back. It's just we have a lot of running backs right now.
Yep.
So.
Defensively, Rough Riders gave up 31 points on the defensive side. From a team perspective, they gave up 305 total yards, 225 through the air, which probably kind of is a concern. But then on the ground, defense gave up 80 yards. But all in all, you know, when it's all said and done, you come up with a win.
The win's a win, and like I said, Coach Yale, he's working at it. He probably hadn't slept a whole lot this week. That's his thing. He's a perfectionist. We all are, and we want our units to play great.
Right.
And we take pride in our people, and they'll get a lot better.
Yeah. This is the first London offensive play from scrimmage, and when this took place, I kind of thought, oh my, what are we in for?
Yeah, it was a fumble right before this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then
You gotta mellow, man. Hakuna Matata. You know, give it time. You know,
Exactly.
Give it time. You know, it didn't start out real great. You know, but
And I was impressed by the pursuit that the defense had all night. That was pretty consistent all night.
yeah, they're playing extremely hard. Effort is not the issue.
Not at all.
It's doing the little things like we talked about, from blocking to tackling to pursuit to making sure you're in the right coverage, getting the right call.
Exactly.
There's so many little aspects that go into each play of football that a lot of the outside people don't know about. So
This is the same play.
same play, pursuit again. You
Yep.
see that they're playing hard. I mean,
They
so it's
are.
not an effort thing. They're going to be just fine. They just got to continue to keep playing hard and take the coaching that they're being given, and great things will happen.
This is just excellent pursuit.
Yeah.
Hunter Mabry,
Yep. The whole squad in
Kevin
there.
Perry there,
Yeah.
absolutely. Tristan Gardner, this is, did he see a lot of playing time last year?
He did not. So he was a backup DB all year last year, played on the JV squad, but he played on some special teams, kind of got hurt mid-year, and then kind of just, it fell off a bit.
Yeah.
So this is his first live year of action, so it takes time. And there were some big eyes in that defensive
Yeah.
huddle, and there were some big eyes in the offense as well.
Oh, I
so
bet.
yeah, it's early. And we're still a work in progress. There's nothing that we're doing that is perfect yet.
Right. Hunter Mabry back again at the defensive line and played consistent football all night. I think here he is on the stop.
Yeah, he's cousins to Colton, and Hunter shooting the legs there, and Compton got in on the tackle there. And Compton's really the only defensive line guy that returned from last year.
Now, I made mention of this particular play here on Friday night. This, theoretically, this is a lateral.
It is, yeah. If he would have dropped it, it
Yep.
would have been a fumble.
Yep.
Yes, but you see it. We got guys in position. We just got to make the play.
Yeah. And they ran that play a few other times, and I thought, boy, if they drop it,
It would have been a fumble, yeah.
Absolutely.
But it was and with scrimmages and with we went and scouted London, but you can only see so much. People are pretty
Right.
basic in scrimmages. So week one, defensively, you don't always know what you're getting.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. So this is Keegan Sharp, again, playing both ways.
He rotates his Sullivan in the backfield,
Yep.
and those two guys are really the only. him and Jay Schaefer rotates and Compton rotate at some tight end, but they're the only two guys we got playing both ways.
Yeah, that is just good run support. And that's good run support, and that's a credit to your football team.
Yeah,
that you don't have a lot of kids going both ways.
It helps when you have 20 seniors.
Exactly,
and you really count on your senior class to win football games. When you have 20 seniors, you can play a lot of guys on one side of the football.
Yep. Now this is Caden Sharp, Keegan's brother, running this one down from the backside.
Yeah, he has a new number this year as well. He's number 11. He was 22 last year. He decided he wanted to be number 11. Hey, so be it. But you'll see him playing a little fullback as the year goes on, too, because he was a pretty good fullback for us last year. He hits things a little different than Hinkle hits them.
This one here, this was a fake punt.
Yeah, I ran a hustle lap on Saturday for this one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I called it in. I thought, we could get them down 21-7 before half, and I'm still learning. I'm still a work in progress.
There
it's
you
week
go.
one, you know what I mean? So it's like I said, we are not a finished product from coaching staff to player to anyone involved. So
the Solar kid was pretty big kid.
He ran hard.
Yes, he
did.
He
ran hard. But that's 11 bodies in on that. So, I said their effort is great.
Exactly. Good pursuit by the defense.
Yeah.
And that was consistent all night long.
Yeah. We're going to play hard. We have extremely tough kids. It's just we got to continue to do things right.
Caden Sharp right here fills the gap and just makes a good stop.
Get him on the ground, right?
Puts his nose on the football. This is nice defense on the goal line. Inside the red zone, London has a shot to score. Draw a little closer. Boom.
Yeah.
Stop the big
nice
kid.
job by Compton penetrating. Yeah. And Compton should show up. He's the guy that played all year last year on the defensive line. The guys you're naming are guys that got a lot of reps last year.
Exactly.
So a lot of these other guys they're still learning. They're still speeding up to the game. It's a very good job there.
Nice pursuit there from the backside. Mm-hmm. So now let's move on into your special teams. Of course, you lost Brandon Bowers, and I tell you what, he was the Western Buckeye League specialist of the year last year, and has moved on and is playing out on the West Coast at Santa Barbara.
Yeah, he's at a junior college out in Santa Barbara, out in the LA area. I haven't heard much from him, but I heard he likes it. He's punting really well, so I think he's a starting punter is what I've heard.
Is he?
Yeah, but definitely if he goes there for 2 years and has a great 2 years, those JUCOs will come in and Division I schools will come pick you up and take you or Division I AA or something if he goes out there and has a great career.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a kickoff return. Obviously, this was well coached because you see your kids up ready for that onside kick. They did it every time, and then when they drop back, your kids drop back into normal return position. But
yeah, it's part of the game. You got to be prepared for every little thing. I thought we had some opportunities to hit some here. It was close. It's close. Like I tell them in practice, kind of like everything. It's close, but close doesn't win you football games.
You got people out front.
Yeah, we got to continue to just get the walls set and go.
Logan Rush is your new PAT kicker.
Yep. And Rushy, he was. I'll tell you something about Rushy. He was a soccer kid last year. He was probably 5'5", 220. A little stumpy kid. It came to the weight room. He was in the weight room all off season with us.
Really?
Kicker, and he's concentrating strictly on football now, and bodies change, and he's kicking it through.
Yep.
So.
And Dave Ring works with your kickers.
He does, yeah. Dave got a new job, so he's not able to be around as much. So Seth Voorhees is our main kicking coach. Seth kicked for us back in 2016. So he's our main guy, and he's kicked helping Jace and helping Logan.
Jay Schaefer is your kickoff guy.
Yep. Every now and then he'll get into it, and you'll see, bang, that's a good kick. And then it's just consistency with him. Yeah. So that was the luckiest touchback ever. So it rolled in. But he actually boomed one in. He hit one into the end zone later. So, yeah,
he rolled one in from about 20 yards out, but he did get one into the end zone.
We got to do a better job protecting. We're letting a little too much penetration, which we saw on film. But Rushy's putting it through, which is great. Other than the one where we bobbled the snap and he tried to kick it off the ground. I guess it was a penalty. I don't know.
I saw that one. I didn't include that in the clip, but I looked and I thought, when I scratched my head on that when it was called, I said, he kicked it. Why is it a penalty?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Apparently you can't kick it off the
ground. We didn't get it on the tee, and it kind of was rolling around. So
this is a kickoff return.
Still, like I said, as the season progresses, you'll see this hit faster. Yeah. And when it hits, it hits. So,
So that's a look at our game last week. Rough Riders win their season opener here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, We're going to talk a little bit about this week's opponent, the Defiance Bulldogs, be on the road. We'll come back and do that when we come back to the Bo Frye Show right after this.
You're watching the Bo Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you by these following fine sponsors: Buffalo Wild Wings, Miller's Funeral Home, Eagles Lodge 767, Rabel's Auto Service, Plus One Professionals, Oglaze Equipment Rental, Midway Trailers, American Legion Post 323, Albert Sporting Goods, Family Audiology, Speckman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Spees Chiropractic, Varsity Lanes, Minster Bank, VFW Post 9289, and Guarneri Pizzeria.
We welcome you back once again to the Bo Frye Show. Joe Hurlburt alongside Head Coach Bo Frye. Glad to have you along on Rider Nation Station. Coach, the Rough Riders get on the bus. They'll travel an hour plus up to Defiance to take on the Bulldogs up at Fred J. Brown Stadium. Of course, what are we looking for as far as Defiance is concerned?
Well, I'll tell you the first thing that stands out is they're extremely scrappy. They're playing extremely hard, playing quite a few young kids, but, man, they're playing hard. So we have our hands full. We're going to have to get on the bus. We're going to have to be ready, prepared when we get on that bus, when we get off the bus, because Defiance, their program, is looking to take the next step. And I told our guys, that's great, but not against us.
Defiance beat Napoleon in their season opener, and it's been years since that's happened.
They beat them last year, but it was real close.
And
so it definitely was a very good win for them to start the season.
So what are we looking to do offensively, or what are we going to expect to see from them offensively? What sort of offense? Are they primarily pass, run, pass?
So they're in a spread offense. They after our week last year, they put a sophomore quarterback in who's going to be a big-time kid. He's big, dangly kid, long arms. I don't know if he plays baseball, but he looks like a baseball kid, can sling it. And they have a low line that's protecting him extremely well. And they have a running back that comes downhill and gets the tough yards. Right. So we're going to have to tackle extremely well.
And from a defensive standpoint, what can your offense expect to face when they look at Defiance across the line?
It's a very Jerry Beauty-style defense. They're going to blitz, they're going to move, they're going to stunt. So we're going to have to make sure our big guys are stepping with their inside foot and doing the things correctly if we want to move the ball.
Absolutely. And the things that you can control, you control.
Exactly. It's about us.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Bo Frye Show. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Coach, we wish you the best of luck this week against Defiance, and hopefully we'll come back next week. We'll talk about a win up at Defiance.
Hope so.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Bo Frye Show. Until then, so long, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.